So it looks like a GTA 6 delay is back on the menu, boys. I'm sorry, I'm not happy to be the one reporting this to you, but according to one of the industry's most reliable insiders, the game's not where most of us thought it would be at this point in development. You see, of course, GTA 6 is supposed to release in November. However, one of the most reliable insiders in the entire industry, Jason Schreier, just went on a podcast and described his current understanding of where the game is. You see, he described how the game is not currently content complete. And to understand what that means, basically in game development, there's a few key milestones. You get feature complete, which is where you have like all of the gameplay systems ready and locked in and done. And then you get to content where you're creating quests and missions and the main story and all that's being crafted. And then you reach a content complete stage, or what's often referred to as going gold. And then you go into a polishing phase where you're just making everything better and fixing bugs and performance issues, stuff like that. So if the game is still in the content addition phase and it's still getting content added to it, that would suggest that they aren't even in the polishing phase. Of course, there's some bug fixing and stuff they're doing as they work on it, but it would suggest that these delays have not just been to polish and make the game run better, but that they are actively still building the game, and that the release window of 2025 was never that serious, and that the idea they're launching in November may be optimistic. He actually mentions in the podcast that he thinks there is no one at Rockstar who would give a 100% firm answer that the game is coming out in November, and that also if they need to delay it, they actually have a bit of buffer room because the financial year for Take-Two Interactive, the parent company, actually ends in March of 2027, meaning if they need to delay it till March, it won't technically affect the financial earnings for the year for the parent company, which gives them a little wiggle room. But the point of all of this is that the game is not currently at the stage where most of us thought it was. Most of us thought that the game was in the polishing phase and they were just taking a lot of extra time to polish. But it actually sounds like they are still actively building out the game. And of course, there's always a little bit of overlap. There's gonna be times where you're polishing while you're adding content, or you're adding content while you're polishing. There's overlap, and game development is complex and messy. There's no denying that. But it is to say that the game is not in that like lockdown, just polish it up phase, which I think a lot of us thought it may be after all of these delays. Because bear in mind, this game was originally announced for release like last year, and now it's been delayed twice, and it's possible it's delayed for a third time into 2027, which is wild. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I figured I would tell you here first. Make sure to like and follow.